Hey, what's up? It's Caroline. I hope everyone is having a great start to their week. I wanted to answer a question that somebody asked me on my YouTube profile page, and it was from Amory226, and it was, I'm going to go over here and read it, or you'll come with me while I read it. What was sharing your ED with friends like? Did you do it at all? This is something I'm wondering about, how your experience is and how it differs from mine. Okay, so I'm 25 now. My eating disorder began when I was 11. I didn't really tell friends for a while, but I think they knew and could tell and suspected. I remember one of the first conversations I really had with a friend about it was in 8th grade, where she was like, "You have to eat," and we sort of got into a screaming match at the beach over it, which I don't know how else 12, 13-year-olds can process that kind of stuff. And I remember going home and calling her after I ate dinner and being like, "I ate dinner. I just want to let you know." So the point of all that is, that was when I was still borderline anorexic, and my bulimia began at the end of 8th grade and then into 9th grade. So it was in 9th grade that friends started confronting me. So I feel like at first I couldn't tell people. I was just confronted and taken into back rooms at friends' houses and sat down on beds and "You're bulimic. We know you're bulimic. Da 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 da." And the thing is, different friends responded different ways. My mom and my best friend in 8th grade sort of forced me to tell them that I was bulimic, which was how it sort of came out of the bag. And I don't know, so again, those first bunches felt like forced confrontation. I didn't start telling people until a little more into it, but it's just I don't know, I wasn't necessarily physically obviously bulimic. I was behaviorally so obviously bulimic that I don't know that it was about telling friends as much it was just how different friends dealt with it. And the thing is, it's really hard for, in retrospect, people in high school to cope with those issues if they don't have them themselves. It was a lot for a lot of my friends to deal with. It was too much. And at times I felt some people could have had more compassion for the pain I was in. At other times I felt that was too much for some of my 15-year-old, 16-year-old friends to cope with. I did depend on a lot of my guy friends to really support me through that, and I feel because they weren't necessarily dealing with body image issues, it was sometimes safer to talk to them about it. So I don't know, there were some people that made me feel like I was a disease rather than having a disease, and that sucked. But again, in retrospect, God, that's a heavy load. So I don't know, it depends on your age, I think that the younger you are and your friends are, the harder it is to talk about those issues, But, I found out from some of my college roommates that, my mom sat them down without my knowing and was like, Caroline has an eating disorder, and if it's ever a serious problem and she's not in the recovery we think she's in, please let us know. And I found this out years later, but I'm so glad my mom said that, because my college roommates were incredibly mature and incredibly amazing and so on top of taking care of that. So I don't know what to say. I think the experience of my friends knowing about my eating disorder got easier with age. And in going back, now that I've been in recovery so long, I can go back and have these conversations. The first friend that I told I was bulimic to with my mom, she and I recently talked about that, and we probably hadn't talked about that in years, but that was 12 years ago, and in retrospect, now we can process it. So I feel I don't know that I'm answering the question well, but it's just I'm looking at the question again. Yes, I did share with my friends. I never kept it a secret because, I'm a very open person, Some friends were great and some weren't, and it depended on where they were at. And I no longer judge anyone for how they responded to my eating disorder. I have a lot of compassion for wherever any of my friends were at and how they dealt with it. So I feel like that's the best advice I could give, is that, like, if a friend can't handle it and is not the way that you want them to be in supporting you, like, either tell them that and let them know what you would appreciate, or know that that's just not the way they're going to be able to be there for you. It just occurred to me, a friend that was amazing across the board, amazing about it, and to this day is still amazing, was a friend from I've had most of my life. And in high school, she would always ask me, "How's your tummy?" And her saying that, like, the word tummy versus stomach felt soft and warm. And the other thing was, it was never, "Did you throw up today?" or "How's being bulimic?" It was, "How's your tummy?" Like, how's your body? How's the part of your body that you won't connect with, that you hurt? Like, how's it doing? And that was just sort of like our code phrase for her to say, if you want to talk about your eating disorder, I will listen. And even to this day, after all these years of recovery, she'll ask, "How's your tummy?" And that means a lot. And that's, across the board, one of the cooler things a friend has ever done in regards to my eating disorder and healing and recovery. So again, some friends treated me as a disease, while others, were constantly checking in. It depended on the person, and again, the best advice I can give is to not judge or hold a grudge against any friends based on how they respond. But know that there are people that want to be there for you as a friend. You may not find them immediately, but there will be someone that asks how your tummy is and not judge you, and be there unconditionally. So I hope that helps. I hope everyone has a great week ahead. Peace. Good night.